By the way, my mom was like, don't cuss just because I always cuss too much. I always cuss too much. So what do you like? No cussing?
It doesn't matter. Saki, we're waiting on you.
Are you getting good B-roll though?
Yeah. But
the cat decided to use the litter box right as we were going to record. Totally fine. Saki, we're waiting on you. Okay, so I guess I'm going to play our little intro real quick. Okay, cool. All right, guys, welcome to Vibrant Expansion. I have with me today Jades Goudreault. I said that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard you say in another interview with more of your French.
Oh yeah, Jades Goudreault.
Yeah, I love it. So, what's kind of new with you?
I'm working on a second album right now. Just released my first album, and I'm working on my second one.
I love your first album.
Thank you.
Yeah. So Nah was an extra track.
At least on Spotify. Yeah, it was one of those. Like, so what happened was like I had 6 tracks, and I had my album out, and then like last minute we decided, you know what, this should be on my other album.
It's really awesome because I think that whole album is really great, and then like Nah just adds this extra like oomph to it. So I really like that it was like a secret track, because I think back of like when my favorite like artists or bands like back in the day, like, you know, it had that thing where like the CD would go on for like 20 minutes, and if you forgot that you like had it playing, and then all of a sudden you hear this like badass song that comes on, all of a sudden you're like, whoa, where'd this come from? Like,
yeah,
that's what it reminded me of. I was like, that's so cool.
That is cool. And also it's called Motel 6, and just, I don't know if you're gonna talk about it, but I'm gonna talk about it.
Go for it. Yeah,
she was in the music video for Motel 6. So yeah, and her kids. So
it's funny, I posted about it a couple days ago, kind of like prepping and like getting people like excited for this interview and stuff, and I was like, okay, so in the meantime, here's a link to a playlist of all of her music videos, and I was like, and I'm in one of them. Can you guess, or can you find me? Like, it was like a Where's Waldo thing.
Yeah.
But and then your mom actually recorded on her Instagram. She had clips of that scene, of the arm wrestling scene, where like we're all in the crowd, but like that's like the one main scene that I was in, where I was like,
yeah, that's such a fun scene to film.
It was really fun. That whole video was super fun, and
such a chaotic day. Like, we filmed the whole music video in one day, and there were so many scenes, so many people involved. Yeah,
it was really quick, but I think it went pretty smooth. At least for the parts we were there.
Yeah,
like,
it went pretty smooth. It was it was crazy, but yes, it went pretty smooth. Yeah,
we were there for a good part of the day. I think we left after, right as it was getting dark, but we were there from like morning-ish till like mid-morning.
And you guys helped out.
Yeah. No, it was really cool. And like the girls, my 2 girls got to be a part of it, and then David was he kind of stole my
spotlight, not gonna lie. Like, can you tell me why, David, you always steal my spotlight?
I know.
We're offstage, we're quiet, enjoying the interview while experimenting with style, with fashion, with the latest trends, with Seven Olsen.
Oh my god. Literally always stealing my spotlight. Not cool, man.
Yeah. Literally pushing through the dance.
Thinking maybe we can make it if we all leave. Yeah.
And that was really cool because I think I had reached out to you, like, it was before we met. Like, David had connected us, and then we reached out, and I like sent you some videos of Dreamers Dance Company's hip-hop team like doing dances, and you're like, oh my gosh, that's so cool.
Bring it from Holland to Ghana, UK, London to Naja, Angola, Caverdiana.
And then I didn't know if anything was going to come of it, and then like a month later or something, I heard from the dance studio, they're like, guess what, like some of our girls are going to be in the hip-hop scene of this dance. And I was like, oh, that's so cool.
Oh my god, I didn't even remember that.
Yeah,
it was so cool.
Yeah, it was pretty neat. I was like, oh my gosh, like I wonder what would have happened if I hadn't like sent that to you, or like how that worked out. And then like I don't know if I told Anna Rose about it too, the owner of Dreamers, and I was like, you should reach out to her. And so like I don't know, maybe that I don't know how it all worked out, but it was just so cool.
And David made the connection for the studio.
Okay, yeah.
And then like I went to rehearse there, and then I got Kelly, and then she helped me choreograph, and then they're amazing. I love them.
Kelly's really cool. Like we've done some like my girls are on the hip hop team, like with Kelly doing all like the stuff like for dance team, and David and I have done some classes there like a while ago, and we keep asking her like, can you please have more workshops? Can you please do more like adult hip hop classes? Because it's like super fun. But dancing wise, like you do some dancing in
your pistol up the holster, a liar, a cheater, a runner, check. So don't say yes, say nah. A ring a ding ding, he a monster. Get your pistol up the holster, a liar, a cheater, a runner, check. So don't say yes, say nah, 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 nah.
And a couple other videos. Do you have like a background in that too, or was that more just? Because you pick up on it really quick. Like when I saw you dancing with Motel 6, I was like, man, like you were just like right with it with all the other like.
Oh, thank you.
Staying at the Motel 6. I'm staying at the Motel 6. And the city lights calling, thinking maybe we can make it if we all leave.
Well, I danced I took hip hop for a year and a half.
Oh, okay.
So hip hop classes, I did some hip hop classes, and I wouldn't say I'm a fast learner, but I will say like I kind of naturally, anything to do with music, I'm pretty good at naturally.
Yeah.
But I could use a lot of work with dancing. When I look at my videos, I'm like, I could be so much better. But yeah, it's so fun. I love dancing.
It's funny. It seems like you're just like, but you're just feeling it, you know, like, and especially because it's like you write all of your lyrics. You help, you help with some of the music, not like all of the production, but just like certain bits of it.
Yeah.
And all that. So it's like, you kind of already have your soul like put into it. So when the dancing part comes, it's probably just like you're just feeling it and getting into it.
Yeah.
But like I can empathize with you. I think you're great at it. But
thank you.
Whenever I would do hip hop stuff, I was like, I don't know.
Yeah. I'm a perfectionist a bit, but it's so fun. I really want to take more classes, actually.
Yeah.
But hopefully in the next couple months, I have time to like start classes again.
That's awesome. Yeah, we might even try to do like private like lessons with Kelly.
Yeah.
So we could even figure out something like that too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Wait, she gives classes herself?
She does. Yeah, she's my girl's hip hop teacher, and then she does adult hip hop classes, but she stopped them, and then she's going to start doing like a workshop. Mm-hmm. Where you can just go like once a month or something like that. And we're trying to get it more often, but she's like, we just need more people.
Yeah.
So
that's so cool.
Okay. New album. You started talking about new album coming out. Is it kind of like top secret?
Sorry. The new album. Right.
Right, we're focusing.
The new album. It's not top secret. No, I can
awesome.
I can talk about it. Yeah, I'm like that's like the first thing I'll say. Like I have a new album I'm working on. The one song that we're going back and forth right now, it's called Go Out There.
Awesome.
Oh wait, I'm not sure if that's on the album yet, but I'm not sure if that's on the album, but whatever. It's one of those songs.
It's a current song you're working on, or you've already recorded?
Yes.
Okay.
Written, recorded. We've gone back and forth a couple times on production.
Awesome.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm really excited about some of these songs. It's just like when you go and like, sorry, I'm like trying to face the camera sometimes.
Oh, I know.
When you,
it's okay. It's like coffee shop style.
Yeah. When you write like and record your songs, and then you go, and then you like kind of start producing, and then you kind of leave them for a while, or like, whatever, you forget, and then you're like, what songs did we write again? Like, and then when you like remember them, or will you hear them again or whatever, and you're like, oh, we wrote that. It's literally like that. So I can't wait to hear them again because it's gonna be a little bit fresh. But I know that there's one, I don't remember the title, but it's very positive and almost borderline cheesy.
Oh,
but
that's
just
awesome.
So fun and just such a like sing along, just like we're gonna have a good day, y'all. But it's gonna be good. Don't worry.
That's awesome. No.
Yeah.
Oh, that's super fun. I love that kind of cheesy stuff because sometimes you just want to do that. Sometimes you need that to like pump you up to have a good day.
Yeah.
You know, you just like, you know what, screw it. Like I'm just gonna like. You want to have that like cheesy, just like over the top, feel good.
Yeah. And what's funny about that song, I just remembered one of the lyrics is like the ones like because we're talking about shoes, the ones that Auntie Mimi bought, and like it's funny because we like I don't remember who came up with that. I don't know who came up with that line. I was with my co-writer,
right? But
I just remember that. I think I came up with it, which is funny because I was like Auntie Mimi bought, and then I realized, wait, I literally have an aunt. That's Mimi, but I didn't mean to do that. It's so funny. It was like it rhymed and or
you
something.
You put that lyric.
Yeah,
in there? It was just kind of like
I put that. I know I chose Mimi, but like Auntie Mimi bought, and it rhymed. But then I realized I literally have an aunt named Mimi.
That's so
and she's
funny.
Gonna hear and she's like, oh, look at that. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
we have a Mimi. It's my mom. My kids call my mom Mimi.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
But not an auntie, but.
Yeah,
a Mimi.
Yeah. My aunt actually is like half Japanese.
Really?
So like she looks nothing like me or anything, but it's funny.
So you've got that. What's that song called?
That song? I'm like, what is that song called?
It's crazy how when you're in it, you like
forget. Oh, it's called. I think it's gonna be called Ruin My Day.
Okay.
It's like I won't let it ruin my day. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So it's still kind of like still in production. Like what's like a release, a general release time that you're thinking of?
Oh my God. I thought like it would be I thought we would be done by now, but it takes a lot of work, you know, especially long distance. Like most of it was done in real life, like the co-writing and stuff, but then like the production is back and forth. So when I send my notes, I have to like type them out, and it takes forever to like try to be very, 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 very
specific about it.
And then what if I say I want this instrument, and then I was like, wait, nope, I don't like, and then it's a whole thing. Whereas if I'm real life and we test something out real fast, it takes 1 second to say. So it's just a longer process.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping like a couple months.
Because you're back and forth between Florida, LA, Canada.
Yeah.
Is Canada your main recording area? Or
I would say some of it was done in LA.
Oh, okay.
It was written
cool.
and recorded in LA.
Where was that video filmed?
The Nuh-Uh video
was
also in LA.
That's in LA?
Yeah.
That area is so cool, that like out in the desert kind of thing.
So pretty. It's called Vasquez Rocks. It's so pretty.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I want to go back. It's one of my favorite places I've ever been to in LA. There's just not enough nature in LA.
Right.
I miss it so much. So those rocks, there's just so much space, and yeah, it's really nice.
Oh, that's super cool. I know. I had this dream for a long time of like doing some kind of like work from home kind of thing, and taking the girls when they were really young and like getting an RV and just driving around and being like, okay, instead of learning about the Grand Canyon or like all these random like national parks or even like hidden gems like that, like smaller, maybe, Big Sur, you know, like all these places, I was like, I just want to drive them there and like take them and like show them the world instead of just like having them read about it in a book and like in school in like a little box all day. But it didn't work out that way, but like who knows, it's never too late. Like,
you can do it.
My grandparents used to actually drive around in an RV, but they would go and look at Native American rock art, and they found all these like hidden like Native American rock art like things, and they actually wrote a book. It's like published only for the family, because you're not supposed to disclose where those locations are. It's like there's some like big taboo thing about it, because people will go like vandalize it. And, so I was like, I have this like top secret like Native American rock art thing. So I was like, all right, one day we're gonna get an RV and we're just gonna go like do that. So I don't know.
Cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like there's just so much. Like have you other than like Canada, LA, and all that? Have you like traveled and did you used to do like shows like shut down
I did
stuff,
some shows, but I would mostly do covers. I got only a couple shows in before with my original stuff before COVID happened.
Yeah.
But before, I kind of did like some festivals and stuff like that, but mostly just US stuff for sure. Like mostly Florida actually, and like some Canada stuff and whatever.
That's awesome.
But I have been to like Costa Rica. I think you would love Costa Rica. But I want to do shows. I want to do shows like in the Philippines. They're so nice there. I want to do shows everywhere. No, but I have like a lot of the people that like watch my videos and stuff like that from the Philippines, and I would love to.
Oh, that's so cool. Well, hopefully soon. It'll, but like, that's super awesome. I actually love your covers. Like I had heard a couple originally, like when David had first like introduced me or like had told me about you. And I was like, oh, cool, let me check out some of her stuff. And like some of your covers came up. And then I like got sidetracked, and then went more to Spotify because those aren't on Spotify. And the girls like, my two kids really liked your stuff. It's like right up their alley. They were like, oh man, this is so cool. And like, we're going to be in this music video. Like they were all pumped up. So like we would hear your songs like over and over. So like a big portion of like the plays on Spotify may have come from like our car.
Thank you.
But then a couple days ago when I was like prepping for this interview, I was like, oh, let me kind of like check out and see like what else she's got on her YouTube page and like looking at her website and all that kind of stuff, and just different social media stuff. And there's like a motorcycle.
I know.
Rude. No, excuse me, sir. We're doing an interview. But I love your covers.
I never needed to like I do right now. I never needed to like I do right now.
Like I really do. I really like there was like a couple songs that personally were they like touched me with like certain things that I had been going through, and I actually like sat there and I was like, I got a like tear and I was like, this is actually really beautiful.
Then you looked over your shoulder. For a minute, I forget that I'm older. I wanna dance with you right now.
That's my little like confession, but I think they're awesome. Like,
thank you. I actually it just sounds weird, and I love writing songs, and I'm hopefully gonna love performing them, but I like singing covers better so far.
Really? Wow. Oh my gosh.
Okay, but I hate saying that because I like putting out my original music more. It's more satisfying. But singing them with covers, I don't know what it is. I'm trying to figure out what it is. I think it's because I can find acoustic tracks for them easily.
Right.
And like I love acoustic things, singing acoustically.
Right.
And I love singing like slow, like ballad stuff.
And that's not typically your...
Yeah, it's not typically my writing style, or like, I just, when I go in the studio, I just kind of write whatever, and I don't think, how am I going to like performing this live? I don't think about that. It all depends. I feel like I'm going to successfully get my live show to a point where like I love performing my songs. So I think I will, but I just haven't, I don't have a band. Like I don't like performing with instrumental tracks. So I just haven't gotten a chance to like perform them with. Yeah.
So that's what you would ideally like to do when you're able to start touring and everything. You'd rather do it with like an actual physical band.
Yeah,
I think that'd be cool.
I think so, or half. So like some parts being played on the track, which a lot of people do, and a couple live, instruments, maybe a guitar, or I don't know.
Well, that's cool because like that was one of the things I wanted to ask you about was like, one thing like, listening to your music and like, again, like with my girls, like they just were like, can we listen to this song again? Can we listen to that one again? Put Beaches in the Bathtub back on. Wait, can you? And so there's like all of those little like almost like subliminal little like hidden like clips in there that are so fun. And like maybe initially when you first hear the song, you don't recognize it right away because you're listening to like the beat or like the chorus, and then like the next time you listen to it you hear more of like the verse, or like you kind of like almost build your own layers. So the more we would hear it, I was like, oh wow, like there's that little like a little French thing.
They're like ad libs, like little things that I improvise while we were recording, or sound effects we kind of chose for fun, or like all of those. So when you listen to it, like you said, you'll
Yeah.
hear the main parts, and then you'll be like, oh wait, was there something in the background?
And it's so fun because
Yeah.
like there were a couple times where we're like, wait, what did she say there? And then we're like, wait, I think that's French. Okay,
Yeah.
wait, this part, you know, this one's not, but that's, wow, did you hear that one? I've never heard that one before. Like we've literally
Yeah.
like gone through that, and it was super cool. And I'm like, that must be so much fun, you know, to do that. Like, especially if it's an ad lib kind of thing, or
Oh my god, you should see like if, for one of my upcoming songs, which will be called "What Do You Do." But anyway, I'm not gonna go into explaining the whole thing.
Right,
There's
right,
a
right.
story behind that. But like those ad libs were hilarious. I was trying to get like a good scream in, so I was like screaming and singing in weird like ways. I don't know. It's just so funny. And my producer would kill me if I posted this, but like he does the funniest shit sometimes. He'll go on the mic and sometimes he'll ad lib too.
oh, that's
Just
awesome.
for background stuff, like layers, like to a male vocal sometimes sounds cool.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's like, please do not ever post it. But I want to post it so bad. He's so funny.
Like, oh, but so he doesn't actually have that on any of the actual tracks. It's just more of like a fun. Like
sometimes we do sneak him in there. Yeah, it's not
cool.
like that obvious. Sometimes
Right.
we just sneak him in there as a background or whatever. Yeah.
I'm gonna like look for that now.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
all right,
he's-
now we'll see if we can like find that.
Yeah,
probably
there's
have
two
heard it.
producers and they sometimes sneak in some background vocals for sure. Yeah.
That's so funny. It's
Yeah.
like when you were saying the singing, it made me think of like Mongolian fruit singing.
Oh
you
my
ever seen
god. Oh my god. Wait, that thing where like it's like in
Yeah,
like, a
I don't
weird...
even know how they do it.
I did it once.
Did you really?
successfully.
Oh, that's awesome.
somebody was like a huge music geek, like he knew like 28 instruments or something crazy like that, and then he was like, oh, there's this thing called blah blah blah, and then he was like, yeah, this is how you do it, and he was like the only one that could do it, and he was showing me and I did it, and he was like, whoa, you just did it, like, and I did it, and now I don't remember what it
Wow.
sounds like, but
You
yeah.
have to like hear it and
Yeah.
like get into that like, you know, personality of that and like really feel it and just like it's funny because like so I okay, so that brings me back to this like thought that I had earlier when you were saying there's, you know, you love putting your own content out there and creating that way, but there's something about covers that's really, and I kind of get that. So I'm like a closet in my car singer. Like
yeah.
I don't know if I'll ever sing in front of anybody because I don't think I'm really like it's one of those things where I'm like in my car, nobody's around, it doesn't matter. I'll just like put on like whatever it is and like sing to it.
Yeah.
And so there's something about like a song that you just like that you sorry, the
cat's
cat
pooping
is,
again.
is it the same cat? I think it's the same cat.
Oh my god.
He's
I'm just
back
like trying
at
to
it.
listen to you, but he's just pooping over there.
Look at the door. It's like flapping. So they do this thing where they like go to the bathroom. See, he's like scratching the plastic.
Yeah.
They have
Same cat.
it is the same.
He's pooping again?
Jeez, what did he eat?
Look at his face. He looks so
Did
guilty.
you
He's
have Taco
like,
Bell
"What?"
again? Taco Bell?
Yeah. They literally do this thing where they like are trying to cover up their poo or their pee with the litter, but they won't do that. They scratch the plastic. They're like, maybe this will work. Oh,
Oh
let me
my
do
God.
this. And they like scratch the door, like a random. He's like, I want in. I want to go in there.
Oh my god.
Or like mid conversation, like, oh, cat's at it again.
Yeah.
Um,
So back to what you were
I know,
saying.
it
I'm
was
trying
like-
to think.
something about just there's a like if there's a song that you like, you know, like just that someone, you know, just a song that you like, and then like connecting with it and then singing it and doing your version of it, and like there's something really cool about that.
Yeah.
And then I can relate to that, I guess, in that way. And then like with like certain voiceover stuff, like I kind of dabbled in that for like a little bit, and mostly like cartoon stuff because the girls would
Yeah.
always do, they always liked watching like certain shows, and then I would just go into the character and like do impersonations. But it's like harder for me if I were to write my own content
Yeah.
and like try to make up a character and do, like I could do it, but you're almost like I don't know if there's like this weird like second guessing yourself, but like if there's something out there already, you're like, oh, I know I like this, so I'm just gonna replicate it and like put my version of it. I don't know if there's anything like that.
It's almost like when you have covers, you can go and pick one that first of all you feel like the lyrics deeply, or just the music, whatever you like about it, and find if it's a semi-popular song, you can usually find an instrumental that's acoustic, which I told you I love acoustic.
Right.
And then also you're picking. There's so many options, and you're picking for what you like to sing or what you sound good on or whatever.
Right.
Whereas when I go in the studio, I could really focus on, let me make this perfect for my voice, but I don't. Instead, I just kind of let myself loose, and sometimes I write things that are really hard for me to sing or whatever, and they're not, but then I have to go back and do them again, and I'm like, oh gosh, yeah.
But you know what's cool is like I think that shows in your music, because you're kind of you really are this like free spirit. Like I love that. Like when I first saw like Peaches in the Bathtub.
3, 6, 5, adult peaches in the bathtub. Don't ask why. I love you. 3, 6, 5, I overdo the mad love. Don't ask why. I have to.
Yeah. I was like, this is so cool. And there's like you have a bunch of different videos that have this like 90s kind of like vibe. I've always told the girls, I was like, man, you guys missed out on the 90s. Like the 90s were so fun. Like people were just, nobody cared what people thought like really as much. Like everybody was just like, they were doing their thing. You could wear whatever you wanted. Nobody was like, oh, you don't look like this, or you're not wearing that, but like it was just like, just be you. Like I think that was like the spirit of the 90s. And then
that's
like
so cool. Yeah. When you look at like old skater like videos from those times, or like or whatever.
That's what Paranoia reminds me of. The video
Paranoia is like influenced by that a little bit. Yeah, definitely.
I got the paranoia. Just thought you should know if you wanna get to know us. Oh, I got the paranoia. Just thought you should know if you wanna get to know us.
I definitely get that like kind of like skateboard video kind of vibe, but like a little bit, like there's something about the look to it.
Yeah.
And just that like fun friend vibe. Like you have a lot of that. You have a lot of like friend just bringing people together, like people just kind of having a good time. And actually like Bow Down, that's probably one of my favorite songs of yours.
Bow Down?
Yeah, like the girls are like there's so many different ones, but that for whatever reason that one like touches my soul for some reason. I'm like, I just like love that jam for some reason.
Oh, that's so nice to hear. I mean, so that was my first single ever.
I thought it was, because I was like trying to find where it was, and I'm like, it must just be a single, but I didn't know like the order of it. So that's the very first one.
That was the first one ever.
That's honestly my personal favorite song.
Bow down to the one with the card. So yes, money, don't hesitate to see the stars. Oh yes, honey, no, we don't need no reason to have fun tonight.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and I don't know why. There's something about it that has this like really unique, authentic, like all of your music has that, but for some reason that one I connect with a lot.
That makes me happy because like, my perfectionism, like I wasn't so happy about like the production, but then once you see past and just feel the song and the lyrics and stuff, you do get
I have like goosebumps. Like I totally have that. Like,
well, because the way I wrote it was like I wrote that one by myself. I normally co-write. I like co-writing. It's so much fun. But that one I wrote by myself, and it was very much inspired by like everything real. So like because sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'm inspired by whatever's in my head. Like it doesn't have to be like experience. Sometimes it is.
It's just like a creation of whatever. Yeah.
But this one, like I had written down almost as a journal all these things that had happened a couple summers back. I wrote down like pages and pages of things that had happened like a summer back before I wrote that song with like my favorite friends, and we would go to the beach all the time and like just have so much fun together, doing almost nothing, like playing guitar. Just
like I have goosebumps again. I think what it is it reminds me of like even like the Gas Money lyric, like that little portion. that is one of the parts that look, I still have goosebumps because it brings me back to this time of feeling that feeling.
Yeah.
And that to me, so like growing up, like I'll save the long story, but growing up had kind of like a rough childhood, was kind of I was kind of this like super nerdy, like I was like, I want to save the rainforest, and I would wear the shirts and stuff like all the time, and like people were like, this girl's such a dork. And so I had like a couple friends, but I didn't have that like the friends feel, right? And then when I got into high school, I just like met this group of kids. They were all in a ska band. It was really fun. I did like
so
photos.
Cool.
Yeah, like that's when I first got into like photo and video stuff. Like I did all their stuff, and like, oh, that was like such a blast. And we were all so close. We all had such a fun connection. And we were just doing stuff like that. Like, hey, let's randomly, like, we're going to go to the beach and we'd go do all this stuff. And like at night, like we did like all of that. And like, there's, you know, and there was like the whole thing, like, okay, like, all right, our friend Doug is the one with the car, you know, right now, let's give him gas money. Let's all go do this. Like, it brings me back to this feeling of that, just being free with your friends and just letting your personality just kind of like experience life with other people, like doing the exact same thing. Yeah. So I think that's part of why it, like, because I'm like, that was such a special part of my life, and I think other people can relate to that, you know?
Yeah, I never thought it would connect at all like that.
Really?
Like,
oh man.
but it was so cool because I sent it to one of my friends who was in that group that we used to hang all the time, and without telling him anything, and he was like, or he had heard it on a post actually. I didn't send him, and he said, you know, it's so funny because it reminds me of that specific summer, and I was like,
again.
I was like, oh shit, it is, it is. So that's so.
And
cool.
You know what? I don't know, because like I'm not that age in this time era of life, so I don't know what other people experience. I can only hope that other people have those types of close friendships and bonds, and like sometimes I feel like a lot of that has gotten lost in like our day and age with social media and all this other stuff, and it's like, I don't know, do people still have that close of friendships and bonds? Maybe they do, and like hopefully they do, because like that I just think that's so neat. And it's like a clean song, it's like clean fun, it's like, hey, this is so much more rewarding and whatever than like going out to a party and like getting trashed and this and that and whatever. And like, I don't know, sometimes there's that included, sprinkled in sometimes during those time eras maybe, but I mean, it's more of that, like, I don't know, like the thing, like going to the beach and like, okay, what's open at this time at night, and like, you know, that kind of thing. It's
and just like connecting, and just sometimes we would just chill in the car, listen to music and talk, like, and it was the funnest thing. Or drive, just drive.
Like, hey, let's just drive around. And our friends would, like, our parents would always be like, don't just drive around aimlessly. And we're like, that's totally what we're gonna do. We're gonna put music on and just drive and talk and sing and put on our favorite songs and put on a playlist. Oh, you made a cool playlist this week? Okay, cool. All right, let's go do this.
Yeah, we would swap the aux cord. It's so fun.
It's super cool. Yeah, that's so awesome. So I like that.
But you know, I will say, like you said, you got to experience that. Not everybody does. I would say also, like you said, a lot of people will kind of do nothing, but they just like drink and get high all the time, and like it's not really being with each other when you're drunk or high, because you're not present. So what was special, you know, but I would say special to me was that none of us took drugs or really drank, so we were really present, and just being ourselves,
truly connecting. Not connecting via a substance.
Exactly.
Or thinking you're connecting via a substance. It's truly just like, you know, we're there, we're present, like here we are. Yeah, that's what's cool, like in the video too, like there's party scenes, but it's not like, you know, clinking drinks and it's nothing like that. It's just like people having a good time, like being present, being together. And like, I think that's why it's like, I don't know, I just think it's so cool. And I hope that more people see that, and they, younger kids, like my girls, you know, even like they're preteens, like they're going to go into teenage world soon, and just be like, look, like this is so much more rewarding. I promise you. Like it's so much better to do it like that. So
it is. It's so funny because I remember like that summer, we had sleepovers at different people's houses all the time, and we were sleeping over at, I don't remember whose house, and then there was like a couple people that weren't in our typical group that came over, 2 girls that were like, I don't know, we met at the beach or something, and they were like shook. We were like doing, like, somebody was like playing an acoustic guitar, and we were all just like singing songs and like having fun like that, and they were like, this is what you guys do? Like, they were so confused because they are just used to kind of, getting drunk and just.
Did you grow up here?
I would say like split, but yes, mostly here.
Okay.
Florida, but I'm from Montreal. I would go back and forth for summers, and I also lived in LA sometime, but mostly here, I would say.
Okay, so because I know you guys moved from Montreal when you were younger? Or when you were really young?
Yeah.
And you moved straight to Florida?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, cool.
Straight to Florida, yeah.
I didn't know where you went first. Like, I knew you were back and forth between both, but that's the road trip that I've heard you talk about, like where you packed everything and drove to LA.
To LA, yes.
Yeah, I bet that was scary.
That was scary because I am not like the best driver, and I was like a new driver. I just got my first car and like drove off.
Yeah.
And like there's these scary anyway. Oh
I know
God.
that. I listened to that interview with
Talking
Lions.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
just
and
talked
like
about that recently.
the fuck truck song. I was like, that's so awesome. I was like, I hope that one day there's a fuck truck song, even if it's like a end of the track, like a secret track or something.
Yeah. Hey, we might write that song. Who knows?
It's just funny.
Funny.
So here, like I know like that same group and everything, we would do this thing where we would sneak onto like golf courses in the middle of the night and bring a guitar and like sit
and
like play
we snuck at golf courses too. We've done that. That's so
and
fun.
like the sprinklers would go on and be like run through the sprinklers and just like I don't know, it's just like it felt so like alive, like in this like real way, you know, just like coming out of your shell and like really becoming yourself. And I don't know, it's really neat.
Yeah.
So you went, when did you start going to LA to start? You started with
for
acting,
music?
right?
Yeah. For acting, that was different. Like it's always a long story, so I kind of really always cut it short. Right. But I did go for like a year and a half before, and I did like hip hop classes, and I did like acting, and I was really into acting at the time. I wanted to be an actress, and I wasn't in music at all.
Wow.
And then, and then like,
what was your like transition?
Being bored at home and like posting covers.
Oh,
because like I said in the Talking Lion, I kind of just posted videos naturally about skits or whatever I wanted.
Right.
A dance or whatever stupid stuff like
TikTok like
style, really like stupid stuff. Yeah. Like I don't delete most of my videos, but I should put some on private on my other channel before anybody finds it. I have a secret channel. I'm not going to talk about it.
That's awesome.
But then like I started my singing channel, and I literally like you can go on and see my first couple covers. You know? Yeah, it's really like.
So
that.
when did you release Bow Down?
2017.
17. Okay,
summer.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So and then Motel 6 was just released the end of last year, 2020, or.
Yeah, either that or I think
I know.
it
was like,
I'm like confused. I don't know. I think the whole album with came out this year.
Okay.
But Motel 6, that song I think came out last year, but I can't remember.
I'm trying to remember, yeah, because we recorded it I think in October, and then it like the video came out
a couple months later. Or something.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that was
such fun. Like it was really so fun. So many different moments. And like I love watching the video because so many people were a part of it, and like, but it felt really kind of bonding in a way that day too.
Right.
So that was cool.
Oh yeah, it's definitely memorable. Like there was, and it was fun because there was like in a hotel, you know, so there were the different rooms where everybody was hanging out, and then there was like so many different groups of people for all the different scenes.
Yeah.
And then the end where we were doing the arm wrestling scene, it was like it brought everybody together.
Yeah.
And it was almost like, you know, everybody had their little like cameo, like sort of like, or camo like
actually not everybody could fit in that little room,
gosh.
but most people
most people yeah. Oh my gosh. That was so fun. So do you have the songs for the
Motel 6?
Not Motel 6, the next
other
album?
one? Yeah, I don't know what it's called yet.
Okay. So that's still like a little
I
ways
think it's
out.
going to be called What Do You Do, just because I really like that song and it means a lot to me. But
awesome.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that idea of like, you know, it's like got that old school vibe of like naming the album off of like your favorite song on the album.
Yeah.
You know, like sometimes like there's different vibes of things where I just think, I don't know. I think that's cool. I think it's like kind of old school.
Well, with the other one, with Motel 6, I think I was just lazy and didn't have very much time. Well, I mean, not just that, because
Right.
I can come up with a lot of good ideas. Like, that's easy for me. But
Right.
at the same time, we were kind of in a rush, and I was like, let me see if one of these songs kind of fits.
Right.
But then Motel 6 was like, oh, like, this is, I need it.
Right.
And I literally,
right.
it could have been a copyright problem because of Motel 6.
Motel 6.
And, like, I called and, like, did the whole thing, talked to their, like, lawyer people. Well, my mom did.
Right.
And, like, yeah, so it was cool. So I got to use it, yeah.
That's really neat.
Yeah.
And that was like you, that was special because Motel 6 was like when you were doing that big trip, when you finally like went into the motel, you were just like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I was driving to LA to start my music career, my dreams and all that. And then I stopped at a Motel 6. My mom was like, you need to get some rest. Like, yeah.
Even if it's a Motel 6, like do it. And you're like, this is game changer. Like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Your mom is so cool. Like, I was really lucky to be able to meet her that day, filming for that video, and her and I really hit it off. And
right away.
Oh my gosh, we totally did. Like, we've been in like touch like almost daily since then. Like, she's like, hey, she's so cool. And so I really also, like, as a mom, I love the song If You Don't Like My Momma.
If you don't like my mama, if you don't like my mama, don't mind me.
Yeah.
Because like I'm like, man, I hope my girls feel that way.
Yeah.
It's really cool, and like she really is such a cool person, and I feel like she's been so supportive and encouraging, and like she's kind of like sacrificed different things in her life, right? To like
definitely
help you, like,
a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's really cool.
Definitely. From my whole life. Like, even when it came to before my whole career, before any of that, like when I was, little, she didn't make much money yet. Like, she made very little money at the beginning when we moved here, and she did everything she could to put me in private school because for her that was really important.
That's awesome.
So it's like she did everything, for me to be in a good environment.
Right. Oh, that's super cool. Yeah. I like that a lot. Yeah, she just really seems to, I don't know, she's cool.
Yeah, she's fucking awesome.
I like blanked out for a second. I was like, I noticed I like spilled matcha on the blanket. And then, like, my brain went like, how did that get there? And I was like, what was I saying? But so she's been. Does she work? She's your manager?
Yeah.
She worked. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
really
we're
cool.
a good team, so she's just naturally my manager. I've had a lot of, like, managers wanting to, like, say, like, what's your deal? Like, can, you want a manager and stuff like that? And I was just like, no, my mom's my manager.
Are you on a record label right now?
No.
Are you not wanting to, or are you just, like, waiting for the right thing? Or?
We've spoken to a lot of labels.
Okay. Yeah.
Because, like, when Nuh-Uh came out, that's when all, like, tons of labels just all of a sudden started reaching out. And, like, I don't know what was the thing that triggered it, but just it triggered it, okay? Right. And it was just like, whoa. And, like, all my dream labels were, like, contacting me, but then I would talk to them, and a lot of them I just didn't connect because keep in mind, yes, it's a big label, but there's individuals at that label. Some of them are really cool and some of them are not. Right. And not to say like they were mean. Nobody was mean, but I just didn't feel a big connection with them.
Right.
We were actually about to go with a small label. We were about to sign, and then something happened where we're like, no, this isn't the right time, just whatever.
Right.
So, I don't know. We're not in a rush to sign anything. We might or might not.
I think that's cool because I know, like, my background doing a lot of, like, photo, video, all of that type of stuff. I actually worked for a record label called Fueled by Ramen, like, back in the day. That was actually the band Less Than Jake. One of the members of them started that, and that's where like Fall Out Boy first got on, and I did screen printing in the back, and I worked in the mail room, and that was like the two things I did. I was like, I'm making some shirts and I'm sending some mail, and like, it was cool, super fun, and like just knowing a lot of different like local artists and some of like maybe a little bit more of like the national artists and stuff. There's a lot of tricky stuff that comes with like choosing the right label, because sometimes you get in there and then they expect you to be a certain way or produce your stuff a certain way, or like, there's like kind of this like, do you lose your identity? Are you kind of like, there's the whole like, are you selling out? And there's like all of that.
There's a lot of that. There's a lot of that.
It's
they control them. Like, I'm not saying there's not real artists out there.
Right.
Like, of course there is, but the labels control a lot of. I don't want to be controversial,
Right,
but
right.
agenda, their agenda,
Right,
and
right.
what they want out there and what sells the most and all of that.
Well, and like you were saying, like the individual artists on that label, it's like sometimes when you're on a label, you're expected to tour with the other people on your label. Not all the time, but sometimes. So it's like, okay, well, do I see myself having a future maybe with these other artists and collabing with them or like being associated with this, that, or the other thing. And so it can be like kind of tricky.
Yeah, I mean, the number one thing when I was talking to him on the phone, I was like, I want all my creative control.
Right. Like, if you can't give me that, we don't have a deal.
But then again, you know, I've just heard a lot of times that they tell you what you want to hear at the beginning, but you have to have a lawyer to look at the contract so hardcore, you know?
Yeah, like really thumb through it.
Yeah.
So that's cool. I mean, it's good to hear that you're like waiting to make sure that you find like the right one and all that. It's funny because I posted from your Instagram the little clip of Motel 6. When I reshared it on my Instagram, you know, I put all these hashtags on it, and I had all these like random like record labels that were like, check us out, come check us out. Hey, blah, blah, blah. Like, I was like, who are all these people? And like some of them were like fake ones. It was like I'd be like, who's this? And I click on it, and it's like they had 0 posts, 1 friend. And I'm like, what is, like, I don't understand what that whole, is.
They think they can scan, like, a lot of fake, I just got a fake email, like, I can spot the fake ones from a mile away, but I just got a fake, it said Interscope and all of that, but it was not Interscope. I knew, like, right away, but they were selling something, like they were trying to scam me, and I was like, how sad that somebody else might fall for that. I was like, don't come for us indie artists, like, what the heck.
So what about, like, are there any artists that you see that you would like to see yourself maybe like collaborate, like a dream situation, or like, you know, potential, you know, like either co-collabing or like touring with?
So I love, well, there's a couple guys.
I know, I can't take you seriously.
Okay, keep going.
We'll pretend the man with the like ponytails is not collecting B-roll.
So I would say like I think that there's a couple guys that I really want to sing with, Jeremy Zucker and JP Sachs. I mean, there's a lot more, but those two.
I thought you were going to say JP Sears for a minute.
Oh, no. I don't even know who JP Sears is.
He's a comedian. He's pretty funny. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but JP Sachs, beautiful voice. Oh my God, I really want him on this one specific song. So, and then,
Have you reached out to them at all? Like,
I have not.
Oh, cool.
I have not. Somebody gave me his manager's email, like, when I mentioned him in the past interview, like a couple days ago, and then when we got off, she was like, "Hey, I have the email, but you know, I want to reach out at the right time, so I don't know, but I will."
The timing is everything. Like, So that's cool. So I like that. I think that's really neat to have those. Those are names I'm not familiar with yet, so I kind of want to like check them out now and like
usually
see like
when people ask me that, I will say, you know, Justin Bieber, like Gwen Stefani, and that's not a lie either.
Right.
There's a lot of bigger artists that I want to collab with, but
I would have totally wanted to collab with Gwen Stefani if I
yeah, 100%.
She was like my idol back in the day. Like, talk about like going back to 90s. Like that was the first thing like I showed the girls. I was like, I'm gonna show you how cool the 90s were, and I put on Tragic Kingdom, and the girls were like, this is the best thing ever.
I know, it's so good, and like she's still so cool. But I definitely have gone back and listened to all their stuff and like No Doubt stuff, and I love their old stuff too.
I know.
I just
it's
like
so
all the stuff. And like, how cool would it be if like I collab with her and she was like, "Hey, why don't we do a ska thing?" And I was like, "Oh my God, that'd be so cool."
I could totally see you doing that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I was like such a ska kid, like such a.
Wow, that's so cool. Yeah, I never knew about ska until like kind of recent, like you know, because of going back with like being obsessed with their old music and then who they listen to and all of that. Then I kind of it's really cool.
Yeah, I know.
It's a fun scene.
She did a song called "Oi to the World" with the Vandals, which the Vandals weren't a ska band. They're just like a punk like a goofy punk band. Like their songs are really goofy.
Oh.
Some of them are like probably a little like much, but they're pretty funny.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think like, yeah, I don't know. It's funny because that whole time, like when I was saying like Bow Down, like it reminds me of like that group of friends for the most part, and like that whole time era, because like ska was always just fun, funny. It was like just, I don't know, it was just like so much fun all the time, and everything.
It does. It looks really fun.
You could just like, chill. And my daughter actually, she's doing a tap dance to a Real Big Fish song at Dreamers Dance Company.
Whoa.
And it's really funny because she's like, Mom, do you want to see my new tap song? And she put on Real Big Fish, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're tapping to that. That's so amazing.
Whoa. That is cool, especially like doing tap, like choosing an unexpected.
It's
like,
totally
song.
Unexpected because it's like ba, 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 da, 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 da. And you're like, it's got like definitely like beats you could like tap to, but it's just like, oh, it's a ska song, and it's like a totally random like obscure song that like only a handful.
I would definitely do that if I were her too.
I know.
Yeah.
It's fun. She keeps it like, I
think like me and them would bond so hard over music. Like I could show you guys I have thousands of songs saved that you probably have never heard. Like such cool stuff.
Honestly, like anything you want to share, like it. I'm so into that, and it's like it's so funny because I was always like back in the day like with Napster. Like, did you ever get into like Napster?
No.
That was like, I'm probably like dating myself a little bit, but like Napster was like you like downloaded this program.
I've heard of it because I know a lot of history of music, but
and and like so you'd like sit there and I'd be like blah 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 and type something in, and then like something related would pop up, and I'm like, ooh, what's this song? I'm like, cool. I really like this song. But like now it's like there's so many artists, like there's so, and that's what I think is so cool about like you kind of got in there and just did your thing, and like you're in like a lot of the Spotify like playlists now. Like you've got, what is it, like Fresh Finds and like the like Indie Chill Out, and like there's like a bunch of them.
Yeah, the biggest one recently was New Music Friday, which is really hard to get on, like as an indie artist. So that one.
How do you get on those?
I mean, every artist can submit themselves to Spotify playlists, but that doesn't. But most people don't get on. Like it's like because they have like 50,000 submissions per day, or
so they have like some approval board that sits there and listens. Yeah, it'd be kind of a cool job.
Yeah, I think I'm just guessing that because I don't talk to anybody.
Right.
I just do the normal submission.
Right.
Labels, they will have the artists come in and meet with the people, so they have more of a connection. I literally don't know them. But like anyway, I don't know. I'm really grateful for them because they really help me and other indie artists get recognized.
That's really cool. Yeah, there's so much music, like you can listen to that and you're just like, oh my gosh, like I don't even know where to start sometimes, like because I'm like still like so back in the day, like whatever music I listened to back then, and I'm finding new stuff here and there. And
wait, what do you mean it's hard to find music now, or what?
Well, I don't know where to start.
Oh, I could teach you.
Yeah, no, seriously, I'm like totally open to it because I'm like, where do I even start now? Like, and even with the girls, like they they listen to basically like whatever they hear from dance, or like your stuff, or like random related stuff. Like sometimes like you can put on like the radio version of it, and that's like you'll find related artists and that kind of thing. But yeah. Oh, that's cool. No, I'm totally open to. I was like such a music junkie. What was like some of your like main influences, or like did you not really have that? Did you just kind of like create?
That's the hardest question. It's like what do I listen to? All over the place. Like when I say all over the place, I'm not trying to like be like, oh my god, I listen to everything. But I genuinely try to listen to everything because like I'm like the type of person where if I don't like a song right away, I'm kind of excited about it. I'm like, let me listen to it again until I kind of get it or whatever. It like I don't know.
Sometimes if you listen to it a couple times, like it gets in there a little differently, and like I've noticed that too. Like I remember sometimes when we would have those like late night car rides and stuff with friends, like they'd put on the song and be like, dude, this song's so awesome. And sometimes I'd be like, okay, like maybe I can see it. And then like after you hear it a couple times, like then you're like, it, and you're like, oh, I love this guitar melody that comes in this way, or the way they sing that, or whatever it is, and you start just like connecting with different aspects of it, and then you're like, oh, all of a sudden this like random song you heard is like now your new favorite song.
Yeah. Well, when I first heard Tragic Kingdom, the album, like I didn't connect with it the first time. I didn't hate it,
Yeah.
but I was just like, listen, I listened to it as an album.
It's really different.
And I was like, I'm not feeling this that much. But I gave it a chance. Like I listened to it a couple more times, and now it's still my favorite album. I love that album. So because it's so different, I can still listen to it now and not be bored. I love it still.
Right,
Whereas like things that I might connect with right away, I probably will get sick of really fast. I think that's maybe just me. I don't know though.
No, I think I can relate to that a little bit. Like it's like a unique phenomena because you're like, why is it? I don't know. Like what it is. It's like if it's that instant gratification thing. Yeah. So you have instant gratification. You're like, oh yeah, that's cool. Okay, yeah. And then you're like, I don't know. You hear it 4 or 5 times, and you're like, okay. Maybe if you wait a while and then you hear it again, it's kind of like, oh yeah, this jam. And then you're like, all right, I'm done hearing that now. Like,
yeah.
No, that's really cool. It's just so interesting, like how all of our experiences are so unique with all of that. And I don't know. I'm excited for your new album. I know it'll probably be a little while because you got,
Sadly, I wish I could just like write, record, and release because I love releasing music. It's the best part. I love it. It's so
How many
fun.
songs do you have for it?
For it, I want to say 7 because no, there's 8 songs that I have like ready, like written and stuff. But they're being produced, and I don't know which ones will go on the album. I'm assuming there's going to be probably 7 of those are going to be like good enough to go on the album. The other album, how it happened was like I wrote, like 7 songs and then put them on the album. Like all the songs that I had, were just on my first album. I didn't think, oh, this is my debut album. Jade, this has to be really. I didn't think any of that. I just put it out, and I was like, oh, thank God, I'm proud of it.
No, it's cool because you have the content there, and there's like differences because you've got like something like nuh-uh, and then you have empty, and then you know like there's like
all kinds of things on there. I'm really happy.
It shows your like your ability and your like what's the word?
Like chameleon, not chameleon.
No, but like
because it is still all me, but
variations,
range,
yeah. And there goes the chicken salad fork. Oh, so Purple Circles and both went over 1 million views.
Yeah, streams on
views. I'm saying views.
Yeah.
I'm stuck in like YouTube world. I'm watching so many YouTube videos.
Yeah, on Spotify. Just like yesterday, reached 1 million streams, and Purple Circles was like last week, and it was my first ever to hit 1 million on Spotify. So I'm really happy. Yeah.
That's so awesome.
It's so cool.
What's that like feel like? Is it almost like surreal?
No, it's not.
To it?
It's built.
Yeah.
I wish it was like surreal and it was like a huge moment. It's a cool moment for sure because a lot of work goes into it. But I would say like, when you first put out a song, you want to get to the 1,000.
Oh, right.
And you're like, oh my God, the 1,000, and then 10,000, and then, but I work so hard, and like each song does get there faster, which makes me so happy.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say it's all about the numbers. It's more about like, holy shit, people are listening. Like, I don't know. It's really cool. Like, there's way more saves now, and like, I don't have to like beg my best friends to say,
Can you please go listen? Everybody here.
Literally me, like, text, can you go save it, please? I really need the saves. Yeah,
it's fun. Like that's like where I'm at now with like this movement, like with this channel, and like really just wanting to like connect with people that are just doing cool creates and like getting out there and just either like sharing different things with people and like making a difference in different ways, whether it's like just sharing something beautiful or creating, or like if they have like a personal movement that they think is really important and they're getting it out there, or I'm kind of like into the whole like holistic thing. So I'm friends with a lot of like holistic practitioners and doctors and like, hey, what are you doing? What's this modality? Like, oh, cupping or, acupressure or biomagnetics and like all of this different stuff. And it's like, okay, I just started realizing like there's so many amazing people that are doing cool stuff, like all different realms. Like, how can I like bring that together and just be like, dude, like, look how cool life is. Like, life is so amazing. Like, I know there's all this crazy stuff and like this like, whatever going on. And it's just like, everybody's all over the place and there's so many divides. And so it's like, all right, how can I focus on bringing people together without any of that influence or any of that stuff, and just like, okay, everybody that's doing cool shit, here, come on, let's do it here, and I'll help maybe like give you a platform for like if you're less known, like if there's a you know, some cool little local artist or local business or whatever, or you know, people that like yourself that are like really like, you're like out there and you're doing your thing and you're like getting shit done, you know, and like it's really just neat to like be able to bring everybody together. So it's cool because that's where I'm at now. I'm like, hey guys, watch this video. Hey, can you guys watch this? Hey, can you follow my thing? And like, I know that like slowly grows.
Yes,
and
it does.
As long as you're being authentic about it and you're just putting it out there and you're creating with like the best of intentions, and it's naturally going to do what it's going to do. And it's like, you know, it just, life's a journey.
Life's a journey for sure. I love what you're doing, and you do have to like go through that phase, like to, you know, a lot of people will have this false information where you put something out and if it's good, it's going to be popular. That's just not how it works. People have to find you somehow. So if it's first through friends and family, that's what you have to do. And then you start getting those people that naturally listen and share your stuff, and then you get more and more people, but you have to grow.
So would you say like, what's something that you would tell other like aspiring artists or just people doing all different kinds of like creative ventures, like just keep being your authentic self, keep moving forward, just not giving up, that sort of thing? Like, or
well, first of all, keep your integrity,
right?
Because a lot of people will try to sway you into being a certain way, or like, let's say I send a song and I say like, okay, this is actually a good example with just like the creative side.
Right.
I don't care what people think. Okay.
Right.
So I don't get that much influenced by that. But I showed one of my songs like as like a what's it called? A critique. I got a critique done by like some top writers. Okay. A couple times actually. And all these top writers were around the table listening to my song, like Grammy Award winners and stuff like that.
Wow.
Okay, they're all amazing. One would say like, oh my God, I love that lyric. It's so unique and so poetic and so different. And the other one would be like, I really don't like that lyric. I think you should take it out. It's too complicated. It's too what?
You can't please everybody.
You literally like you can't, if you feel like you agree with them, then do it.
Right.
But I'm saying like have your integrity. Or like if you don't drink or do drugs, I'm nothing against anybody who does whatever to their body, but I'm just saying like I don't, and I went to LA and I was scared at first because I was like, I know most people drink or you know, smoke or whatever there, and I was like, am I gonna be awkward? Am I gonna be whatever? Saying like no thanks. Right. But then I was just like really, really genuine. Like, no, I don't smoke or drink, and people respected that. Right. As long as you are confident about who you are and like what you want to do, what you want to, whatever, what you want to put out there, then people will respect you. Like if you're confident. So that's one of the things. Another thing is like surround yourself. Like promotion is good, whether you have the money or not. I've done most of my stuff without promotion, like without, and when I say without promotion, I just mean without spending money on promotion. Like but I've definitely, me and my mom go ham on like finding different ways to try to like get my music out there non-stop. You have to. It doesn't just grow on its own. So that's one thing, but it gets easier as you go. Sorry, one more tip. Is surround yourself, whatever industry you're in, surround yourself by a lot of people who are in the same industry and doing what you want to be doing, because you'll get tips from different people and you'll learn together. Right. Me and my friends exchange ideas all the time. Yeah. They'll ask me, oh, how did you do that? Or how did you do that? Or how are you doing this? And then I'll ask them like, oh, well, you know, questions or whatever. And then sometimes they know somebody that I need, like a musician that I need, and it saves so much energy on like research and stuff.
Yeah, I should give a quick shout out to Nicole Frolic and Chris Rice, because those are two YouTubers that they do primarily interviews. They both do some other stuff too, but they have been like really encouraging me, and like they've been people I can be like, okay, what program do you use? What do you like about this one? Okay, what tips have you found about this, and that? And like they're so cool and willing to like, you know, converse, and like, you know, they're also busy doing their own interviews and their own shows and their own editing and all of that. But there's definitely a I turned off my ringer, but my alarm went off. I was like, oh my gosh,
it's making me paranoid about
it. But yeah, I mean, you're right. Like you find that community, and like you're all gonna be different. Like they have totally different channels than I have, but like they're still willing to be like, hey, yeah, like this is how you do this, and this is how you do that, and like and I'm sure I'll meet more and more people that are doing like similar things, and I think that's really cool. Like kind of like creating that little community in that. Yeah.
Or even like you know, if you're friends with another YouTuber and then you start getting hate and you're like, oh shit, I'm getting all these terrible comments, and then they're like, dude, that's normal. I get those. This is how you handle them. It's like it helps so much to have those.
Did you ever like go through that type of thing? Like,
I don't care about hate.
Yeah, I know, right? It's just like, well, it goes back to that thing with the people at the round table that you were saying. It's like some people, you can't please everybody. Some people are gonna be like, that's the most beautiful lyric, whatever, and then like somebody else is gonna be like, oh, I don't know, it's kind of or whatever it is. You know, it's like you can't please everybody. You have to just be authentic, be yourself, and you know, like you said, have that integrity and kind of override it.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, like, you know, some comments that are mean sometimes do hit hard, but it's like I try to not respond to them, even though I want to talk back so bad. Like I try to ignore them. But yeah, you just have to love what you're creating, and then if you're proud of it, just try to stay proud of it, no matter what anybody else says.
I love that. I think that's awesome. That's really beautiful. Like that was, I think that's gonna like reach a lot of people, you know, because it's just like keep creating, because, and that's part of, so like the name of this channel is called Vibrant Expansion. And I just like was kind of sitting there one day and I was like, all right, I'm going to do a channel. This is what I want to do. What do I want to name it? And I was like, oh gosh, I could name it anything. Like there's so many like things. And so I just was like, kind of closed my eyes and just was like, I'm going to let it come to me. Like, okay, a couple of different things that were kind of like, maybe. And then I was just heard like Vibrant Expansion. And I was like, wow. But it came in two separate parts because I was thinking of the intention of what I was trying to create and do. And so it was like, okay, I don't want to focus on any of the dark stuff, any of the negative, any of that. And I just I don't want to go into these like spirals of like researching and like, I'm a researcher at heart. So it's easy for me to do that. Yeah. But it doesn't, I'm not creating. I'm not able to do anything. It's good to have information.
You kind of want it to be more spontaneous.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, and I was like, no, I want it to be vibrant. And I heard vibrant. And I was like, yes, that.
That's cool.
And then I was like, vibrant creation. Like, I went through like different like terms for the second one. And then I was like, no, expansion. Because like when you're creating, you're putting yourself out there. You're expanding this vibrancy and this beautifulness. And that's how you're connecting. And like other artists or other YouTubers or whatever it is that you're doing, you're expanding into their world and you're creating and you're connecting. And, you know, so there really is that. And I was like, you know what? I know that I could say I'm going to do something or say I'm going to start something or maybe dabble in it and then not finish it. And I was like, no, I don't want to do it that way. I want to do this. I feel creative on this and I'm just going to do it and not stop. And like, yeah, I'm going to get people that are like, oh, you know, that video sucked, or like, why are you even doing this? Why are you wasting your time? Like, oh, I can't believe you quit doing massage. Why did you had a good career. Why did you switch all of a sudden? Like, you know, like there's going to be all of those
all
things.
All the time, yeah.
But you just focus on the create and then you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I think that's awesome. I don't know if you have any other like ending stuff. I think that's kind of like a cool, you know.
Yeah, I think.
I was waiting for when he was going to
go closer.
It's even better that your hair is like that now.
Come on, get close up. Now turn your head so you can see.
There you go. He's like as red as his pants.
I know, he hates it, but it's so funny.
Do you play any instruments also?
I play a little bit of guitar, just enough to like play a few songs and maybe write if I want to. Right. But I definitely want to learn more chords. Like bar chords, I have a hard time with.
Yeah.
And I really want to learn because it gets in the way of so many songs when you can't do bar chords. But
Oh yeah.
Once I learn that, I'll
So you know your like not bar chords, but like just a regular like a G chord.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like where I learned bar chords when I was younger, like hanging out with different like bands and whatever, and kind of like watching and being like, okay, but it's hard to like do it.
Yeah.
And then scales, I like learned scales a couple times, and then it was just like it's like if you don't use it, you lose it kind of thing. So.
Oh my gosh, I've never done scale. Well, actually, I tried once, and I'm like not. I'm lazy when it comes to that. I don't like practicing. I just like being good at things.
Yeah, like what am I good at? I'm just gonna do what I'm good at.
Yeah, I think that's. I mean, I don't think I have anything else to say. I could talk for hours, but I feel like I'm gonna bore. I feel like I'm gonna bore them.
Well, there's the pooper. He's finally laying down and like chilling.
They switched places.
So this one, if I open the slider door, he loves it. He'll go hang outside. They all like roll around and they're like, yay, outside. Yeah. But you see all the patches on the screen?
Yeah.
He's part Bengal, so he'll literally jump on the screen and climb it and scale it. Oh. And I have to like pull him off.
Oh yeah. Cats will definitely do that. What's his name again? That one?
That one's Mochi. Mochi and Saki. So they were named like after like Japanese whatever, like little snacks.
My sister was Dumpling.
Dumpling.
Oh. All right. Well, I guess thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
It was super fun. I like your socks.
My dirty socks.
All right. Bye, y'all. See ya.
I'm staying at the Motel 6. I'm staying.
So I guess I'm gonna play our little intro real quick just to have it. And I know we can like edit some stuff. And I know I was like, you should look to your right.
Oh my god. I'm just like doing this interview.
This is awesome. Behind the scenes. We have actor comedian David Aronovich.
Oh, that's so good.
DavidAronovich.com. YouTube/David Aronovich.
Like, can you tell me why, David, you always steal my spotlight?
I know. I thought we were interviewing Josh.
We're quiet, enjoying the interview while experimenting with style, with fashion, with the latest trends with Seven Olsen.
Oh my god. Literally always stealing my spotlight. Not cool.
Music videos, interviews.
So good. You didn't say a word either. You waited till like
I know. I was like I kept seeing it and I was getting distracted, and that's why I was like stumbling at a couple words. I was like, I'm like, I don't look to your right. Don't look to your right.
I hope you get a B-roll of your like the back of your head inside it.
Plus, I can smell like cat poop too. Like he totally had to like.
Oh yeah, no, I can smell it now.
Yeah. Seven, you can light an incense if you want. And like he's like, David, B-roll.
Oh damn it!
He was licking his butt after. He's like,
oh.
He's like, I don't want that anyway. There you go. Oh yeah, now he's like getting all into it.
I'm staying at the Motel 6.
I'm actually recording now, but that way we just have. No, that's.
Good job.
Thank you, Saki. He was like, I just wanted to give you guys some exciting B-roll. I was waiting.
Literally.
Litter box. Literally. And we got Mochi down here, like, chilling.
By the way, my mom was like, don't cuss just because I always cuss too much. So what do you like? No cussing?
Few inches later.
A
few moments later.
I heard that because it was like
6.5 hours later.
Into it, like, and then I was like, man, yeah, cool.
2,000 years later.
Totally fine. Saki, we're waiting on you.
Are you getting good B-roll?
1 eternity later.
The cat decided decided to use the litter box right as we were gonna record.
Eventually.
I'm actually recording now, but that way we just have. No, that's.
There's the video.
Good job.
Thank you, Saki. He was like, I just wanted to give you guys some exciting B-roll. I was waiting. Literally. Litter box.
Literally.
Literally.
Meanwhile.
And now he's like getting all into it.
Saki, what? Is there something tasty there?
This like hot mess.
Is this
so funny?
speaking of hot
Such
mess?
a mess of an interview, which
Why now? Why
Yeah,
not
don't even
before
have
you
to
went to
cut,
the
like,
bath?
half of this stuff.
Right after, fresh off the grill. After the poop.
Oh my god.
just like what?
Me? Oh. No, no.
Oh, he's so cute. Wait, one more B-roll and then I'll continue.
Look at his foot.
Wait, should I do it this way then?
Look at his
For the
foot
B-roll?
like hanging out.
Oh my god, he's so cute.
He like stretches his toes out sometimes.
Oh, okay.
No, I was
Sorry.
looking at you and then like
1 hour later.
you know, you do that thing where you like feel awkward. You're like, am I making too much eye contact?
Oh,
so I
oh.
like looked away and I was like, I'll watch your hand for a second and then I'll go back to you. And then
Oh.
and then I like looked at your hand and you're like, what? What is this? And then I was
Like, oh shit, I was trying to be not awkward, but okay.
I'm staying at the Motel 6, and the signs say don't slow down till the sun sets. I'm home now, I'm home.
David showed me this earlier. He was like, have
Okay.
you ever seen a pig calling contest? And I was like, no. I didn't think it was real. So there's the plain one where they're just doing this, and then there's these people, they're like doing all these different calls for their pigs. Like if their pigs are like out running wild, like how would you call them home? And it's literally a contest. And then they took those videos and this guy played like heavy metal guitar in the back to it.
That's how he gets his pig?
But it gets better. Like this is real.
Oh, and did they not know the reaction?
I don't know. I think they do know. They like.
They're still like, what the?
I know. This isn't even the best one. What the hell is this? Whatever you say.
Is this for real? It's
like-
like screamo.
Dude, I know, and it's funny because originally it wasn't with the metal. It was
Yeah.
just, you can't be serious with this. Like, what? Is this real? Like, they literally, like...
And they're so serious.
They're so...
the audience,
the audience,
is like,
I know
yes.
they're like... And I'm like, I would be just dying laughing, just like, oh my gosh, like what? She was like, I wanted to show you
if I was
because
in the audience, I couldn't keep a straight face. Like they
There's no
literally look
way.
so serious
oh
about
no,
it.
and it was so funny. And then I saw in the search there was like the one where they did it to the metal because he's like, you know, and then they
Genius, dude. No, for real. I thought there was music for real because it's so on point. Like it's so on beat.
the way he like plays it, it's like he's listened to those and he hears like the pattern of the weather and he's like,
Oh my gosh.
like, and he gets all into it. I'm like, oh man,
That's so funny.
I can't get this out of my head.
Don't know where I go, all I know I'm staying at the Motel 6. I'm staying at the Motel 6, and the city lights calling.
So, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and goodbye if you want.
Sure.
Okay. Sign off here. Got my little outro. I said that right?